Hello and welcome to this Untitled video where we look to explain terminal and provisional tax and when those payments are required to be made. Terminal and provisional tax are two terms that we use for income tax. So terminal tax is the wash up of the tax year that has just been. So we're in June 2022 at the moment, therefore we're completing March 2022 tax returns. The terminal tax is the amount that has been washed up from those tax returns in relation to the income earned in the previous 12 months. If there's an amount payable, it is generally speaking payable on the 7th of April of the following year, so in this case, April 2023. Now this is if you are linked to a tax agent, which most accountants are. If you're not, then the answer is different. Provisional tax is the tax that is made towards the current year's tax. So in June 2022, we are in the 2023 tax year. Therefore, you will make provisional tax payments during this year towards the income that you're earning at the moment. You need to pay this if, in accounting terms, your RIT is above the 5k threshold. To put that in simple terms, you need to have approximately 15k worth of income not taxed at source. So not taxed at source is basically we're talking about shareholder salary, sole trader income, partnership income. If you've got 15k worth of income from those sources, then generally speaking, you will be a provisional tax payer. If you are a PAYE earner, then all your income is taxed at source, so with interest and dividends. So you're more than likely going to be underneath that threshold, and you'll generally speaking just make terminal tax payments if required. The second year of business or increase in income that hasn't been taxed at source, generally speaking, hurts more because you're paying two years worth of tax in one calendar year. So you're paying the terminal tax for last year and the provisional tax for the future year. So we're going to jump through a couple of scenarios to kind of explain that for us, help explain that for us. So there are a lot of situations, trust me, and there's quite a few different things that change the answer. So we have to be quite specific in this situation, and so what we're talking about is someone who's linked to a tax agent, tick, has a March balance date, which most people do, and isn't registered for GST on a 6-monthly basis. So this should be fairly common, but that is a situation that we're talking about. If you've got a different one, I'm happy to talk through that with you, but it's worthwhile reaching out to your accountant to try and understand that. So in our example, we're in our first year of trading. So let's say, for example, we've just completed their 2022 tax return. So they started in business in May 2021. We've just completed their March 2022 tax return. We're in June, so we're filing it now. They have made profits, which has resulted in tax of $12,000 for the 2022 tax year. So this means that we've got terminal tax of $12,000 and it is due in April 2023. So terminal tax of $12,000 during April 2023. This relates to the 2022 tax year. Because this amount of $12,000 is above our $5,000 threshold, we are also required to make 3 installments of $4,000 each during the year. And this relates to our current 2023 tax return. So because our terminal tax is 12 divided by 3, that gives us our 4 payments. Let's roll forward a year. So now we are in June 2023. We have just completed our March 2023 tax year. Our second year trading, and we have made the same amount as we did in the previous year. So what that means is our profits are the same, therefore no terminal tax is due because we paid those 3 installments, those 3 profit tax installments, 12 grand. Therefore, when we completed our tax return, that 12 grand was included. Therefore, it worked out that our terminal tax was nil, therefore no payment is required in April 2024. But we are still in that threshold of provisional tax. We're still in the threshold of provisional tax. Therefore, we still need to make those $4,000 payments in the 2023 year towards our 2024 tax return. So they're still required. So you'll notice in the previous year, we were paying basically 25 grand worth of tax because we had to pay some for the 2022 tax year and some for the 2023 tax year. In our third year of trading, we are only needing to pay $12,000 worth of income tax. So first year of trading, we paid zero tax. Second year trading, we paid two years worth of tax. Third year worth of trading, we're back to 1 year worth of tax. And our last example, hopefully you're still with us, still using the same one to someone into a tax agent, March, not GST registered on a 6-monthly basis. We've seen an increase in profits this year. So our profits have increased by 25%. Because our profits have increased, therefore we've got to pay more tax. Makes sense. What this means is when we go to complete that tax return, we've obviously had that $12,000 worth of provisional tax from the previous year that we paid. Fantastic. But that wasn't quite enough to cover all our profits. So therefore we have a wash up or terminal tax payment due in the 7th of April the following year. So therefore we've got that amount to catch up on because we don't pay enough. Now because that amount has increased, therefore so do our provisional amounts. So our provisional amounts have lifted because now our tax is $15,000 total, less the provisional that we had paid during the year, gives us our terminal tax of $3,000. Of that 15 divided by 3, and we've got $5,000 payments during the year. So that's generally speaking how terminal tax and provisional tax are related. Now, bear in mind the amounts I've used are rounded. There are a couple of hiccups in regards to some uplift payments. The 25% profit might not make sense if we're an individual versus a company. There are a couple of issues when you've got significant tax bills that they might need to be paid earlier in terms of different dates. So like I said, there's a lot of different scenarios that we need to go through. This was just to give you a general idea of what the answer was and what it would look like so that you can have hopefully a better understanding of why you're paying terminal and or provisional tax. But if you've got a specific situation that you need to talk through, I recommend you talking to your accountant or reaching out to us, and we're more than happy to have a chat in regards to that. Hey, look, I hope you found this useful. If that's the case, drop us a like, give us a comment, subscribe to us. You know, everyone says that, so why not? But once again, thanks for watching.